Hi, everybody. My name is Justin Grimer, and I am founder and head coach here at Justin Grimer Coaching. I want to start off by thanking you for joining me today. And if you give me the next 30 to 40 minutes of your time, of your undivided attention, as what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the step-by-step formula you can use to add an additional $10,000 to $50,000 per month to your income in the next 180 days or less. And the beautiful thing is, this is without learning new business tactics or career strategies, and while literally cutting your work hours in half. So I understand there's a lot of bold claims like this all over the internet. So I wanted to make sure this presentation is different and start off with some actual social proof. Throughout this case study, I'm not going to speak about any theories. Instead, I'll be doing an in-depth breakdown on 3 client transformations and walk you through the exact steps we took to, in some cases, double their income, and in some cases up to 5 times their income inside of 180 days. This is so you can take what you learned today and use it to generate real-world results right away. First, I'll show you how Tom, a sales manager in Germany, used this formula to break his income plateau and go from earning $160,000 a year to $240,000 a year in less than 180 days. When Tom first came to me, he was burnt out. He was working 12 to 14 hours a day, managing a very, very large team. It was almost impossible for him to conceive the idea that he could increase his income because he was already maxed with effort and hours. He had thought that he's reached his complete limit. That is a text message that Tom sent to me 1 year after our work date of when we were working together, and he took his income from $160,000 a year to $240,000 a year. After we applied a few simple tweaks, he broke his income plateau without learning any new skills. He added an extra $80,000 a year to his income while reducing his work hours. That was very, very important. That was one of his goals, to get some more work-life balance. And he developed a fantastic work-life balance and escaped the hustle and grind mode. I'll also show you Daniel, an entrepreneur who was also a coach in the UK, who used this formula to go from being stuck at $20,000 a month to hitting his first $100,000 a month in just 90 days. And you might be listening to this and thinking, well, $20,000 a month isn't a bad place to be stuck at, but he was very, very frustrated. He was letting his conditions and circumstances control me. When Daniel first came to me, he had a lot of skills, but was lacking in consistency and had many self-limiting beliefs. Once we made some simple changes to his approach, the path to increasing his income was easy, and he was also able to, 1, hit his first $100,000 a month in 90 days, 2, master his consistency and actually enjoy the process. This is so important. I just coach this so much, enjoying the process, not using your goal like a destination, but enjoying the journey. And 3, create his dream lifestyle where his business served him instead of always serving his business. Finally, I'll break down how Daniel, a coach in Canada, used this formula to go from earning $4,000 a month to $20,000 a month in just 8 months. Daniel is personally one of my favorite transformations, because when he came to me, he was a mess. He had been studying personal development for years, but had no results to show for it. His ambition was high, but he had no clear direction or definite goal. This is a pattern I see all the time. So once we made the simple changes that you'll learn today, he was able to, 1, times his income by 4 in a matter of 8 months, create true time and location freedom. He finally took that dream vacation to South America. That was the photo that you see pictured there with a big smile on his face. And 3, actually enjoyed running his business. which C is a very common theme between all of my clients. A lot of people have the association with, oh, more money means more problems. More money does not need to mean more problems. Once you learn how to discipline your mind, once you learn how to apply the principles of success, that's when things can take off for you in a very, very, very short period of time. And what can come with that is mental freedom, mental peace, time freedom, location freedom. So before we get started, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin Grimer, and today I'll be taking you through the entire self-mastery formula that I use with all of my private clients. And the truth is that I used myself to go from a struggling carpenter working 65 to 70 hours a week to building multiple six-figure businesses. Over the past 7 years of my coaching career, I've been lucky enough to work with over 2,000 entrepreneurs and business professionals all around the world in every country, Australia, Canada, the US, Germany, right through Europe, right through South America, a lot of Asia. The principles you'll be learning today are directly responsible for generating over $8.8 million in additional revenue. And I even believe that number is significantly higher. I think that number is very modest, if I'm being honest, for the individuals and companies I've worked with. And here are just a couple of my other clients. Samina, who I know I shouldn't have favorites, but is probably one of my absolute favorite clients. When I had met her, her story is so special because she'd been studying personal development for a long time. She was a walking, talking encyclopedia of this knowledge. And I still remember our first conversation with her that I had. I said to her, you know it. You don't know this, you know about it. And I said to her, once I show you how to study this material emotionally, your whole life will change. And she went, when we first started working together, she struggled to even make the first payment for my coaching. And in just 6 to 7 months' time, she's now earning $30,000 a month, traveling all over the world as a speaker. And it's actually really cute. The photo there that is attached with her it was her lifelong goal to take her mother to Saudi Arabia to do the walk. I believe it's Mecca. And she was finally able to have that goal, her 78-year-old mother. So that is the things that financial freedom can buy for you. And Dianan scaled his online business, does work he loves, and creates time freedom. As of me recording this, he's right in the transition of going from being a full-time worker as a teacher to doing what he loves, And it's messages like that that just make my day. They say there's two types of income. There's financial income and there's psychic income. And the psychic income is the reward that you get for truly helping people, So it's comments like that when, I say, when you have my clients messaging me saying, holy fuck, it's just such a great feeling. And then here we have other clients that I've worked with, Tarek, Catherine, Karen. I've worked with clients from all over the world, from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different industries, So if you're a business owner or career professional watching this, I want you to pay very close attention. This could be one of the most important presentations you ever watch. And I do not say that lightly. I come across this material 8 years ago. It's actually coming on 9 years ago. And I always say my results didn't change that day, but my whole life changed. And it was the most important time of my life now because it set me up to where I am now. So that could be this call for you. Close out all other tabs and put your phone on do not disturb. I would love your full attention for the next 30 minutes. I can guarantee you that the principles you learn in this case study won't be like anything you've ever heard before. There's no one else teaching this. I promise you. Every single client I share this with told me it changed their entire worldview and the way they operated. So who these principles are for, if you're wondering if you're a good fit, if you're a business owner or professional or business professional and want to add an extra $10,000 to $50,000 a month in revenue in the next 180 days without relying on more effort, more hours, more tactics. If you're a career professional who's hit an income plateau and you want a proven formula to double or triple what you're earning, if you are happy with your current income level, but you're feeling overworked, if you're feeling run down, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling fed up and just about ready to give up and want a new way of doing things that will allow you to earn more without adding additional stress, this is for you. Or if you're an ambitious high achiever and you feel you're not progressing at the pace you could be, this is for you. Okay. Let me be very, very clear. What I'm going to share with you today is not a quick fix business gimmick or career hack. These are principles you can use to create permanent change. And here's the thing, you can use this to create permanent change in every area of your life. This will positively impact your relationships. This will positively impact your personal health. This will positively impact your income. That will generate predictable. We all love predictable, don't we? We all love knowing what we're going to get results long into the future. So that means these principles are not for you. So if you're watching this and you're a little bit on the fence, if you're looking for a new business gimmick or career hack to achieve a short-term win without sustaining it, if you do not have a business or career, okay, or if you have no interest or aspirations to do so, if you are someone who's hoping for a new marketing or sales trick and you aren't willing to do the deep inner work, I love those words. That's why they're in bold. That's what we're doing here. We're doing the deep inner work. It's us. If you're completely content with where you are and have absolutely no desire to increase your income and quality of life, then it's not for you. And that's okay. The truth about increasing your income that no one tells you, okay? You absolutely can double, triple, quadruple your income in just a few months without working longer hours and without new tactics. Most importantly, you can do all of this while enjoying the process. There's those words again, having fun, enjoying the journey. Your goal is not for what you get, it's for the person you become in the process. That's why all the clients that I work with get such incredible results, because instead of fixating on the outcome all the time, I help them work on the primary cause of their results, which is them. It's the inside. In fact, after you understand the principles in this very case study, not only will you hit your income goal 3 times faster, but you'll love the process. Who doesn't want to have fun? One limiting belief you must be aware of is the new information fallacy. We're living in the information age. What is the new information fallacy? The majority of my clients, before they start working with me, think they need new shiny strategies to grow their business or progress in their careers. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying strategy isn't important, okay? However, a lot of you might be stuck in the same pattern of thought. We're going to the primary cause of our results. Thought is the preamble to everything we create in our life, everything we attract into our life. The truth for 99% of you is that you already have all the information you could ever need to succeed. This is not the thing that's holding you back. I'll give you a real world example to prove this and reveal what's really keeping you stuck. I've worked with hundreds of real estate agents all over the world, and every office would do the exact same thing. They would bring in experts to teach their agents on how to list the house, what to say, and when to say it. They would take them step by step on exactly what to do. But something very interesting always happens at these companies. Let's say, for example, there's 100 agents in the training room and they're all receiving the exact same training. They're all receiving the exact same information at the exact same time. A lot of these agents had been selling real estate for longer than I was alive. Remember, I started coaching when I was 26 years old and had already studied this information back to front for years. Yet, if you were to go and check up on these agents' progress in, let's say, 6 months or a year, 98 out of the 100 would still be in the exact same situation, earning the same income and feeling the same way about life. Only 1 or 2 people out of the 100 would actually go on and apply this information and create measurable results. They've made more sales, increased their income, and massively improved the quality of their life. Just 1 or 2%. Okay. Now, You have to stop and think about this. This is very, very important. How can 100 people all be exposed to the exact same information, yet only 1 to 2% of them actually create real world results? What makes the difference? Okay. These people who created results had a different paradigm. Okay. Now, a paradigm is a multitude of habits stored in a section of your subconscious mind. Okay. And your paradigms are the primary cause of your results. Your paradigms control your productivity. They control your effectiveness. Your paradigms control your ability to earn money. They control your relationships, your income. Your paradigms control everything. Okay. It's your belief system. It's your perspective on life. It's your worldview. Okay. Everything you see is through the vision of your belief system. This allowed them to receive the same information and actually use it to take action and create changes to their income and quality of life. Your paradigm acts as a lens in which you see the world. It has exclusive control over the results, but also your behaviors and your thinking you are able to produce. This is why two people can be exposed to the same information, but produce vastly different outcomes. That is what made me get so involved in the personal development industry. I would share books and I would share the information that I was learning to create the success that I was creating, and other people were not creating the same results because it was just information. It wasn't actually shifting their paradigm. The strange part is, for the 1 to 2%, it probably didn't even feel hard to produce these amazing results. While for the 98% who may have genuinely tried their best, it would have felt difficult or even impossible. This is case in point. New information is not the answer, okay? All the knowledge in the world is useless without the ability to implement. That word is so important, implementation. This is why I'm so effective at showing businesses and individuals how to double or triple their income in a very short period of time. Because while everyone else is focusing on chasing the new golden nugget of information, hoping they'll get a quick win, I work directly with my clients to address the root problems and create a new paradigm for them by improving their 1, inner beliefs, 2, their way of thinking, and 3, their patterns of behavior. Okay. In order to earn a greater income, you must first become the type of person who is capable of doing so. Once you master the steps in this case study, you'll become this person and create the results you desire in half the time. So let's get into the tangible steps you can use to make this a reality. Most people never reach their income goals because they fundamentally don't understand how to. 1, follow the process of goal setting, very, very important, and work with the principles of success. 2, and this is almost a forgotten step in personal development, so I want you to really hone in on 2, because most people have goals. 2, create a crystal clear image of the person they need to become to achieve their goal and internalize this identity shift. Okay. 3, the correct way to discipline their mind and behaviors to show up as the best version of themselves every single day. Okay. I want you just to imagine that you took the best day that you had in a whole year, in the last 365 days. And I want you to imagine that you showed up like that best version of yourself every single day effortlessly because it was automatized. Imagine what that would do to your results. That is what I'm helping my clients do. Nor do they understand how to integrate all these new changes into their day-to-day life to consistently create new highs of success year after year. But considering you're watching this video right now, you're already on the right path to stop making these avoidable mistakes. In this case study, we're going to cover exactly how to navigate and fix all the mistakes we just mentioned, how Tom, Daniel, and Daniel were able to use their principles to add an additional $8,000 to $75,000 per month to their income while increasing their fulfillment and quality of life, how to apply the principles of success and reprogram your subconscious mind to make achieving your desires inevitable, how to do all the above while cutting down your work hours and falling in love with the process. Before we break down each point, here's the background on how I learned these principles. I've been a personal development coach for entrepreneurs and professionals for the past 7 years. After teaching this material to over 2,000 clients and generating $8.8 million in additional revenue over the past decade, I'm still just as passionate about this material today as when I first started. This is absolutely what I love doing, and there's a reason for this. The principles I'm sharing with you today are the exact same ones that changed my life. I alluded to this earlier. 10 years ago, I was a struggling carpenter. I was working 65 to 70 hours a week. I always tell people I was run down, I was stressed, I was fed up and just about ready to give up. Okay. I wasn't a very good student in school, so I didn't have any formal education, and my mental health was not in a great place. I would never say that I was depressed, but I was going out on weekends, and I was abusing alcohol, and I was working too many hours, and I wasn't taking care of my physical body, and my mental health really suffered from that. Being stuck in this job I hated was one of the most painful periods of my life. But the truth is that painful period led me to personal development. I look back now and I'm actually very grateful that I went through that period, because that period led me to saying to myself, you know what? I need answers, right? So, in search for answered, I discovered the world of personal development. It amazed me that there were thousands of highly successful people that were giving away the secrets to success in books, videos, and seminars. It literally blew my mind. It blew my mind that there were people who were happy, healthy, wealthy, earning millions of dollars doing what they love, and they were literally writing what I considered success manuals, showing you exactly what they did. It absolutely blew my mind. The first documentary I ever watched was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and this led me down a rabbit hole of personal development for months. Okay. Though the thing was, I was reading the books, I was watching YouTube, I was doing everything that I thought I had to do, but I was gaining knowledge, but I was still stuck in the same dead end job because I could never figure out how to apply the information I was learning. And that's what happens with a lot of people in personal development. They read the books, they watch the YouTube, they follow on social media, but they never actually learn how to apply the principles. This all changed in an instant when I first met my mentor, Bob Proctor. And that is a photo of myself and Bob. That was the first time we ever met in Toronto, Canada. And for anyone who doesn't know Bob Proctor, he is passed away now, unfortunately. He passed away in February of 2022, but when he was alive, he was the godfather of personal development. He truly is the GOAT, the best to ever do it. And this was a pivotal moment in my life. The principles Bob showed me allowed everything to click for me, right? I decided to quit my job, okay? I had a mentor, and go all in on pursuing my dream life of starting a successful business to create time, location, and financial freedom for myself and my family. And here's the thing, my mom and my family thought I was crazy. Everyone in my family thought I was crazy. And sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes we're the only ones that are going to see that great vision for ourselves. Sometimes we have to be the only ones to believe in ourselves, and that's okay. I always say, protect your goal, protect your dream. I started to apply these principles I learned, and within 18 to 24 months, I went from a struggling carpenter to building multiple six-figure businesses, and I had a travel blog. I was a part of a network marketing company called World Ventures. I had multiple sources of income. I backpacked through Europe for 9 months. During this period, I also hit my goal of time freedom, which was very important for me, and location freedom, traveling the world. And in that 18 to 24-month period, I visited 42 countries in total. When I returned home to Melbourne, I hit a little bit of a plateau where, yeah, there was a stage in my life where my goal was to travel and to backpack and earn money online. But then I kind of switched my mindset into thinking, I want to teach this material. So is what I actually started to do is I packaged all my businesses and personal development experience to launch a consulting company. I made a decision that the principles work so well for me. Why shouldn't I be able to teach these to other people working directly with businesses to increase performance and revenue? So I was about 27 or 26 or 27 at the time. And I scaled this company from ground zero, to be honest, not really knowing what I was doing, to $25,000 a month in a very short period of time. And my life just continued to keep changing. And people really started to notice. So close friends and family started to notice that I was living in different places and had a different lifestyle. So naturally, I began sharing some of the core principles I'd learned. And to my surprise, all the people I taught this to also started getting very similar results to me. During the process of teaching, I realized, okay, this was my true calling. This is what I'm meant to do. Coaching others and watching them go through the same transformation I did gave me fulfillment like nothing else I ever experienced. I kind of alluded to it before. There's two types of income. There's the physical income of money, and then there's psychic income. And it's the satisfaction of changing someone's life and really creating that emotional bond with that person. So I decided not only was I going to teach these principles, I was going to do it alongside the best in the world. So I said to myself, you know what? If I'm going to learn how to coach, I'm going to go and I'm going to learn from the best. I'm going to go and do an apprenticeship with the best in the world. And I flew over to Bob lived in Canada. I flew over to Canada at the time. I sat down with Bob personally, and I pretty much said to him, I'm not leaving this meeting until we are business partners, until you teach me how to do what you do. And I think that he loved my enthusiasm. He loved the dare that I had inside me so much that I ended up partnering with him. And I didn't want to live in Canada. It was a little bit too cold. No offense to my Canadian friends. So I moved down south. I moved to Scottsdale, Arizona. And within 1 year of working together, 1 year of being business partners with Bob, I was appointed as one of his head coaches for the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And, just to give you an idea, we were doing about $100 million a year in business. So during my 6 years of being partnered with Bob, I literally coached thousands of businesses, teams, entrepreneurs, and professionals. I came to discover that my biggest passion lay in helping individuals because these clients experience the greatest transformation in quality of life. Okay. In 2020, I decided to move back to Australia. So I'm living in Melbourne, Australia now, and start my own coaching company and focus solely on this. I refined all my years of coaching into a streamlined process that I call the self-mastery formula. Everything I teach my clients today came from direct experience, seeing entrepreneurs and professionals hit the same roadblocks time and time again. This formula is specifically designed to get you to your dream level of income in the shortest period of time possible using time-tested and proven principles. That's very important, time-tested and proven. And today is the first time I'm pulling back the curtain to do a full in-depth breakdown. So I started working with Tom, Daniel, and Daniel in 2021. Although each of them had slightly different roadblocks and were earning different income levels at the time, Daniel was earning $4,000 a month. Tom was earning $13,000 a month. Daniel was earning $20,000 a month. All three were able to up to double to times their income by 5 in a matter of just months. This is because they mastered the fundamentals. The first principle I teach to all my clients is the same regardless of their starting point. Principle 1, cause and effect. We live in a cause and effect universe. You are the cause. I am the cause. I am the primary cause of my results. You are the primary cause of your results. It's not the economy. It's not your upbringing. It's not your spouse, whether it be your husband or wife. It's not the area you live in. It's not the industry. It's you. It's me. Okay. The results you get in every area of your life are simply a reflection of you, whether you realize it or not. See, as you grow, so will your business. As you grow, so will your income. It all starts with you. Most people focus on the results, Okay. Most people focus on the outside instead of the inside. I help my clients focus on the fundamental things they can control every day, which allows them to multiply their income as a natural effect. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let's say you have a room with a thermostat and a thermometer. This is very important. The thermostat controls the temperature of the room. The thermometer simply records the temperature of the room. Now, if you want to change the temperature of the room, it would be insane to go to the thermometer, right? Because we know the thermometer just records the temperature. While it may display the temperature, it has no ability to change it, regardless of how much effort you put in. The thermometer is the result. The thermostat is your paradigm, it's your thinking. This seems obvious, yet most people focus purely on the thermometer and then get frustrated when they can't change the results. Okay. You can focus on the thermometer until you're blue in the face. You will not change your results. You must go to the thermostat. In the real world, these are your inner beliefs, these are your habits, this is your self image, this is your thinking, this is your paradigm. This is really what's going on inside of you. Once you make adjustments here, you'll create long lasting, permanent change that will be reflected in the thermometer, in the results. Okay. Now, one of the strongest points that controls the results you get is your self-image. This is my favorite topic. If it's the only thing you understood in personal development, you will completely change your results. The results you draw into your life are a direct reflection of this, and you can change it, but you can never outperform it. Your self-image acts as the thermostat. Okay. Your self-image is the thermostat for every key area of your life. This means your income. This means your relationships. This means your personal health. When you understand these concepts, it is going to positively impact every area of your life. A poor self-image is like a glass ceiling right above your head, keeping you trapped at your current level. Most people think the path to more results is just extra effort and longer hours without realizing that until they fix their self-image, nothing will change. They'll be stuck right below this ceiling forever. Okay. Now, putting your attention on these fundamentals is the fastest way to increase your income. Like everything, money is an effect, and the cause is what's going on inside of you. Money is the means we use as trade for service. The more service you provide, the more money you earn. So then the only question then becomes, what's stopping me from rendering more service to the world? Is it my habits, my belief system, my self-image? Yes, yes, and yes. Change these and your income will increase as a natural effect. Self-mastery formula breakdown. Develop your goal. Number one, see, a goal should always be measurable and tangible. And when you write out your vision, it should always include your why. Where most people fall down in the vision period, they write out what they want and how they're going to get it. And all they're doing is feeding their intellect. You want to write out what you want and why you want it. Your why is your leverage. Your why is your direct path to your subconscious mind. If you want to get so emotionally involved with your goal that you can feel it in your stomach like it's real, you've got to identify your why. That is, if that is the only thing that you take from this call, it would completely change your behavior, because instead of your goal being in your intellect, it'll be in your emotional mind. Create your winning self-image. Who do you need to become to achieve this goal? What is the self-worth, the self-esteem, the self-image, and the habits of someone who is earning your income goal? Number 3 is 4 daily disciplines to master, which I'll go over: study, affirmations, law of compensation, income producing activities. And number 4, course correction, discipline your mind to create success and navigating failure. Okay. So step 1, developing your goal. Your goal has to be measurable and tangible. Okay. Anyone who says, well, my goal is to be happy, or my goal is to create multiple sources of income, I'm not saying being happy, or I'm not saying multiple sources of income aren't healthy parts of an essential great self-image. However, that's not a goal. A goal must be measurable and tangible. This won't work if it's not, because you can't measure if you're progressing or digressing towards your goal week to week, month to month, and so on and so forth. Okay. The income goal formula. With all my clients, I get them to figure out how much they would like to earn annually, then divide this number by 52. Why is that? There is 52 weeks in a year, so doing this allows you to have a clear target for each week. The reason we do this is because anything that the mind can conceive and believe it will achieve. Well, we conceive on a conscious level, we believe on a subconscious level, and we believe in the physical. We want to break the goal down into the smallest possible numerical number so our mind can accept this a lot easier. Okay. This helped all three of my clients in an extramental fashion. Once they generally believed their goal was possible, they took consistent action towards it every single day. The client who benefited the most from this was Daniel from Canada. When Daniel first came to me, he was an absolute mess. He had no order in his mind, he had no structure. He had been studying personal development for a long time and had big ambitions, but no tangible goal. Okay. Are you doing that? Are you working every single day just hoping things will get better where you don't have a tangible, measurable goal to work out? That is the number one recipe to stay stuck where you are. Okay. He just assumed that if he worked hard and posted content, he would get clients and grow his business. Okay. Well, this lack of clear goal was causing him two major problems. One, his decision making was flawed. How do you make the tough decisions if you don't actually know where you're going? Okay. He was filled with uncertainty and just making decisions based on what he was experiencing day to day. Okay. He was like he was in a dishwasher, he was wishy washy. As a business owner, you need a clearly defined goal so you can make firm and often difficult decisions that will move you closer to this goal. Two, he also fell into the trap of shiny new object syndrome, starting one task, getting halfway through, starting another task, getting halfway through. I'm sure that you've done this, and then you've got 10 or 15 tasks on the go at once, and you're just overwhelmed. Who could cope with that? No one can. Both these are just symptoms of not having a goal. Once we fix this, these symptoms vanished, and it was the big first step to getting him to 20,000 a month. An extension on goal setting that I do with all my clients is get them to write out a detailed life vision, a crystal clear picture of where do I want to see myself in 6 months' time or 1 year's time. This entails what you want, the what is your measurable and tangible goal, and more importantly, why you want it. The magic is in your why. This will act as your leverage as the direct path to your subconscious mind. This step was a major shift for Daniel in the UK on his path to his first $100,000 month. Daniel's major problem was he couldn't get emotionally involved with his goal. Okay. I bet you 99% of people struggle with this. They have the goal, but they can't get emotionally involved with it. They're too emotionally involved with their present circumstances. This was causing major inconsistency because when things got difficult, he had no why to leverage. He already had a rough idea of his vision and he knew what he wanted and he knew how he was going to get it. He was using the what, how method. And this is a very common mistake. We fix this by switching him to the what, why method. Okay. What do I want? Why do I want it? I had him adjust his vision and write out what he wanted and why he wanted it. He identified his 5 major whys. Okay. Some examples of whys: family, your spouse, kids, generational wealth, the impact you'll make on the world, anything you're emotionally involved with, anything that is dear and close to your heart. This subtle shift allowed him to actually build attachment towards his goals. He felt inspired. Ideas came to him and he developed a lightness around what he was doing. We all know the burden of being controlled by our results. I call it the 300-pound piano. Okay. It's like someone puts a 300-pound piano on your back. It is a big burden to carry. See, once you have a strong why, the how will take care of itself. 2, create your winning self-image. This is the most important step. No other coach in the world is teaching this because no one truly understands it. With all my clients, there's a gap between where they are now and where they want to get to and where they want to go. Everyone thinks that the process of goal achieving is write down a goal, visualize a goal, it comes true. This is completely wrong. The most important question you must ask that no one ever asks is, who do I need to become to achieve that goal? What is the self-worth and the self-image of someone who is earning, insert your income goal? What is the consistent action steps and habits this person takes? What time does this person get up out of bed in the morning? Does this person react or respond? Does this person operate in mental hurry, or does this person operate in calmness? How is this person under pressure? We want to create a crystal clear image of who you need to become. You need to adopt the identity of someone who has already achieved the goal you desire. One great example of this is from Tom from Germany. He'd been growing a large team to manage, but his identity was still strongly tied to hard work, effort. He was staking all his results on more effort and hours to himself. This was a big bottleneck for growth. He had the team, but did not have the leadership skills and correct identity to leverage them. Often, high-performing people like Tom feel they need to do everything, and this is a massive limit. The same skill set that gets you to $15,000 a month is not the same that will get you to $30,000 a month. That's very, very important. A lot of people who are earning $15,000, $18,000 a month are very, very good workers. That's why they're there, but you need a different set of skills. We work together to shift his identity to that of a leader and develop the character traits of trusting others, demanding more from his team. He realized that a large part of his income growth will come from leveraging other areas besides just hard work. He began to put a lot more time into his one, mindset, two, employees and sales team development. This one perspective shift was a big breakthrough that allowed him to scale to $20,000 a month while dropping his work hours. His income increased, his work hours decreased. Okay. Here's a practical exercise I get my clients to do in order to make this identity shift. I have them write out a situation in their business that is an undesired outcome in as much detail as possible. Okay. Something negative they're experiencing and experiencing on repeat. This undesired outcome is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of them. It's a direct reflection of their self-image. So we can change this. Then I have them write out the polar opposite situation, the way they want to see it in the present tense. So for example, if they write, I struggle with consistency, one day I'm up, then one day I'm down, that's a reflection of their paradigm. That's a reflection of their image. They will write the polar opposite. I'm so happy and grateful now that every day in every way I'm becoming more consistent. They use this new affirmation daily and it becomes their greatest accountability partner. Anyone can write an affirmation down. It's the implementation, it's the accountability that's important. This exercise is so important because it creates a new self-image that directly combats the habits and thinking patterns currently keeping you stuck. That is so important. I want to read that again because it's important. This exercise is so important. It's so effective because it creates a new self-image that directly combats the habits and thinking patterns currently keeping you stuck. One thing that holds a lot of people back is they say, well, I want to earn $100,000 a month, but I don't know the habits of someone who's earning $100,000 a month. You don't need to know the specific habits of someone who's earning $100,000 a month. You just have to look at yourself and say, okay, where are my gaps? Okay, I'm not very consistent, or I'm not a very good decision maker, or I'm not very good under pressure. Okay, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on consistency. I'm going to work on becoming a better decision maker. I'm going to work on becoming better at under pressure. Then you grow. Okay. Consistency was a major issue for Daniel in the UK. He had the skills, and on his best day, he was better than anyone. Other days, he struggled to even get out of bed. He was up and down, up and down. Once he established his new affirmations, I set him up with a daily schedule so we can incorporate these into his routine and shift his identity to the person that's capable of earning $100,000 a month. I had him set up a reminder on his phone that went off every 2 hours through his workday. So let's say he woke up at 5 a.m. I got him to set a reminder at 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. When the reminder went off, he stopped for a moment and evaluated his current thinking for the past 2 hours from 1 to 10. Okay. 1 being really poor, 10 being really good, compared to the new identity that he wanted to create. Here's the powerful thing. You could do this exercise right now. You could pause this presentation and you could take the time that you wake up and you could set a reminder every 2 hours. And when that reminder goes off, it's reminding you how to think. Once he evaluated his thinking, he did 1 to 2 minutes of auto suggestion where he would listen to his new affirmations. This literally forms the habit of watching your thoughts. What do most people do? Most people do their affirmations in their morning. They think from their old paradigm all day long. They think from their old conditioning. Then they do some auto suggestion at night, and then they think that's going to change their life. That is not going to change your life. Okay. That is just words. It's just hot air. Well, if you're stopping every 2 hours, what are you doing? You're forming the habit of thinking. What did George Bernard Shaw say? He said 1% of the population think, 4% of the population think they think, 95% of the population would rather die than think. Well, you're watching this, you're not in the 95%. I can assume that. But the truth is, most people who study this material, they're in the 4%. They constitute mental activity as thinking. At first, this felt a bit overwhelming for him because it's like a game of mental tennis, back and forth, old thinking, new thinking, old thinking, new thinking. Your old way of thinking will directly combat your new way of thinking. But through repetition, his new identity was formed. He showed up every day in his business purely focusing on the process and what he can control. This stacked winning days together, which led to winning weeks, which led to the 6-figure month he earns now. Step 3, 4 daily disciplines. With each of my clients, the objective is to shift their thinking to become a process-driven goal achiever. This means they have a goal to anchor their focus, but we never focus on the results. All their attention is placed on the most important daily tasks they can control. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, and then one day you look back and you've climbed a mountain. I love that quote. No matter what your goal is, no matter where you are in life, no matter how much you're earning, you will achieve it if you just focus on these 4 daily disciplines: study, affirmations, law of compensation, income producing activities. Okay. I give these 4 steps to every single one of my clients. Well, what is study? A lot of people make the mistake of learning without applying. We study in a specific way so we get the right knowledge that we can implement. See, it's not about what you study, it's about how you study it. Okay. Anyone can read a book, anyone can consume information. You can purchase a book with all the information, but unless you are shown how to apply it, it's just information. That's what most people do in the personal development industry. They read books like Think and Grow Rich, You Were Born Rich, The Power of Now, The Power of Awareness. They become walking, talking encyclopedias of this knowledge, but they never learn how to apply it. Affirmations, this is step 2. Affirmations will rewire your mind and create habitual thinking patterns that align with your new self-image. Affirmations are a suggestion from yourself to yourself, also known as auto-suggestion. Your mind is like a muscle. Affirmations literally train your mind to think what you want instead of what you don't want. Right now, thinking negatively may be easier than thinking positively because that's why your mind is conditioned. Self-doubt, worry, nervousness, anxiety, okay? While the truth is, you can train your mind to a point that happiness is your natural state. You can train your mind to a point where inner peace and calmness is your natural state. There was a time where I was always nervous and I was always anxious. Now I'm a calm, always responding, not reacting, process-driven goal achiever. Why is that? I've disciplined my mind. I've trained my mind through auto-suggestion. Law of compensation. The law of compensation states that the amount of money you earn will always be in direct proportion with the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. Okay. The only thing that we can control in that is your ability to do it. The top 1% earners in any industry are not good, they're elite. All my clients spend just 15 to 20 minutes per day mastering their craft. So, for example, if you're in sales, mastering your sales presentation, okay, mastering the opening of the call, mastering your value, mastering objections, knowing, okay, if my prospect says this, this is what I'm going to say. If my prospect says that, this is what I'm going to say. While all the best salespeople in the world have mastered their presentation, if you go to the top income earners in any industry, you will find someone who is elite at what they do. If you're selling a product, service, or idea, becoming an expert at that product, service, or idea. And then number 4, income producing activities. Here you identify the top 3 to 6 income producing activities that will grow your business or progress your career. We then form a habit around executing these. This is where the magic really happens. Understanding the difference also between income producing activities and non-income producing activities, right? A lot of people get bogged down in non-income producing activities, things that don't directly produce an income. When you combine all 4 of these daily disciplines in the direction you want to go, all your focus gets placed into alignment. Now, all that's left to do is build consistent discipline of action around these habits, and your goal becomes inevitable. Here's a really fun exercise that I have all of my clients who are struggling with consistency go through. And what the exercise is actually called, it's called pre-planning my success or pre-planning your success. This is where you plan your perfect day literally down from the minute. So you go from the time that you wake up in the morning, your study, your gratitude, your auto suggestion, your income producing activities. You literally write out your whole day, what a perfect day actually looks like. Then you know that when you form the habit of creating this perfect day, day in and day out, that the results will take care of themselves. Okay. Now, the great thing about this is your attention goes from being on your results. Now 100% of your focus is directed towards trying to replicate this perfect day consistently. Here's the really cool thing. If you win enough days, you win the week. If you win enough weeks, you'll win the month. If you win enough months, you'll win the quarter. If you win enough quarters, you win the years. If you win enough years, you win at life. Okay. Well, what does this tell us? This tells us that all we need to do is be singly focused on creating the perfect day. And if we can create the perfect day, we can create the perfect life. What is consistency? Consistency is the ability to do very ordinary things for an extraordinary period of time. A limiting belief that comes up for a lot of my clients is, well, I don't have enough time, right? There's not enough time in the day. I'm already busy, right? They almost feel it would be going backwards if they took the time away from their work to do things such as affirmations or study, okay? This is a prime example of how a paradigm can be so restricting without people even realizing. Even if your current patterns and habits are not getting the results you desire, there will be resistance to make changes because your current way of operating is more comfortable. This is so important. If I could highlight that and say them 1,000 times, even though what we're doing may not be getting us the desired result, that is our comfort zone. That's our conditioning. As humans, we default to what we know, even if it hurts us, even if it makes us unhappy, even if it makes us miserable sometimes. You know, how many people do you know that go to a job that they absolutely hate? They complain every single day, week in, week out, but the fear of the unknown outweighs the fear of living an unhappy life. The key is to be aware of this, be kind to yourself, slow down, and focus on reminding yourself, if I just focus on these daily disciplines, the results will take care of themselves. Okay. Step 4, course correction. This is the part a lot of coaches won't talk about. And here's the truth. They don't talk about this because they haven't done it. Okay. Success comes with receipts. You want to pick a coach who has the results that you desire. And here's the reason why. Your journey from where you are to where you want to go, it could be potentially a bumpy one in terms of you're going to challenge yourself emotionally. And you want a coach who has been through what you're experiencing and who can take you by the hand and show you step by step on what to do and how to do it to mentally navigate through that. If you have a coach who has just read a book, okay, or is just certified in NLP, or they're a certified practitioner, they can read what's on the paper, but they haven't had the visceral experience. As mentioned before, our job is to close the gap between where you are currently and where you want to go. This can be a difficult task at the start, and there will be failures along the way. You can absolutely guarantee it. Not everything you're going to attract is positive, okay? Personal development is hard at the start. It's messy in the middle, and it's worth it in the end. Robin Sharma said that, and I love that quote. It can be very easy to fall back into old habits as you make new mental adjustments, okay? You go after what you want. Maybe you get punched in the mouth. You get punched in the gut. It doesn't go the way you thought it would go. Learning how to reframe and understanding failure and understanding the creation process is essential. This is why I work very closely with each client at this stage to help them quickly identify old patterns as they come up. The secret that allows all my clients at this stage to actually create permanent change is accountability and mentorship. Each client gets access to my habit tracker, which makes staying on track very, very simple. And they get access to me. So when a failure would occur or an old belief pattern comes up, they could turn to me and we can navigate it through it together. There's a reason athletes have coaches. There's a reason actresses, entrepreneurs, CEOs, Olympians, champion boxers already know how to fight, but during the actual contest, they're too close to the action to be able to see mistakes and opportunities. This is why, even though they're an expert in their field, they need a coach during their training and fights who can observe from a distance and spot these things. That's such a powerful point. Most entrepreneurs and professionals are so close to the day-to-day action that they fail to spot when, one, they're being controlled by old limiting patterns or old limiting thinking. That's so important. Or two, when new opportunities are presented to them. This is why it's vital to have a coach in your corner who has the results that you want. A great example came with Daniel in the UK as he was on the path to his first $100,000 month. Daniel had some very strong paradigms that were keeping him stuck at his current income levels. Because he was so results driven, he was very hard on himself. He would make one small mistake and beat himself up, leading to days of inaction. Who can relate to that? You make a small mistake or something that doesn't go to plan, then you start talking to yourself, you're not good enough. This won't work. It's never going to happen for you. See, it happened for Justin, but it's not going to happen for you. That negative voice will arise. It was hard for him to notice this. And even if he did, he had no strategies to deal with it. Once he began using some of the exercises we previously mentioned, he developed more self-awareness. He began to catch these thought patterns as they were arising. Every time this occurred, he would come to me and we developed a strategy to replace these old negative thoughts with, if my results are feedback of what's going on inside of me, what did I learn? What a beautiful idea that is. This subtle shift in thinking allowed him to use every perceived failure as a lesson and a launching pad to reach higher levels. He still encountered obstacles, but instead of triggering a downward spiral of self-hate and inaction, he now used them as a stepping stone to create more success. Isn't that a beautiful idea? Could you imagine Every time you failed, it was a stepping stone. Could you imagine every time you tried something and it didn't work, it was a stepping stone? Then all of a sudden, whenever you experience failure, how excited would you get thinking, this is my pause before the quantum leap. This is my platform to my quantum leap. After applying the self-mastery formula, all 3 clients, and these are just 3 of hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of clients who have gotten results just like this, were not only able to double, quadruple their income, but they reported that every area of their life improved. They felt light and creative. Okay. I call it the 300-pound piano. There was no pressure tied to their income. They worked less and earned more. They felt clarity like never before. They had more time for relationships and health. This is the power of following a proven process that focuses on addressing the root problems holding you back. Now, even though all of this looks in depth, this is just a tiny summary of the self-mastery formula. This is just 1%. When I work directly with my clients, the level of detail we go in is far beyond this. And this is what produces such drastic transformations. Now that you understand exactly how this process works, I do have an offer for you. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner, if you're a career professional, if you're an ambitious individual looking to change your life, and you want to double your income, triple your income, quadruple your income in the next 180 days, or if you want to live your dream life, okay, if you've had a dream or a goal without working more hours and while actually enjoying the process, I will work with you directly to help you implement the self-mastery formula into your own life so you can achieve similar results to Tom, Daniel, and hit your income goals in half the time it will take for you to do it on your own. Okay. Now, if you want to see similar results to the ones you saw in this case study and work with a coach who has, 1, done what you want to do, 2, taken thousands of people through the exact same process, hit the first link in the description and book a call to get a walkthrough of how the self-mastery formula, how the process would work for you in your particular case. You'll speak with me directly, okay? And we can learn more about your situation and see if the program will actually be a good fit for you. Best case scenario, we both think it's a good fit and we get started working together right away. What did Napoleon Hill say? Napoleon Hill said after interviewing 500 of the most successful people in the world, the one common denominator is decision making. He said the winners in life make decisions quickly and change them slow if at all, where the people who lose go back and forth, and that's a decision in itself. It's called indecision. Napoleon Hill said procrastination is the death of man or woman. It's very important. Worst case scenario, it's not a good fit and will point you in the right direction, okay? Worst case scenario, you get a great free coaching session where you have direction to go from there. Either way, it's a win-win scenario for you. One more thing before we finish. There's a reason why you clicked on this video. And if you're still here watching this right now until the end, it means at least one or more part of this presentation resonated with you. I look forward to speaking with you and helping you in any way that I can.